Hi everyone, Kate here, and this week I'll be discussing the historical practice of giving the home a proper scrub in the springtime. Spring cleaning was a time to go through the house top to bottom and give everything a good going over. However, despite the common spring cleaning term, this deep clean could actually be done at other times of the year as well, depending on where you lived and how you lived. It was also a practice that was starting to become less popular by the 1920s in favor of a more regular cleaning schedule and a simplified decor that required less cleaning than that fussy, dust-catching Victorian style of the past. However, spring cleaning in some sense still exists even today, and I think it's a great idea to take stock and to get into some of those dark corners that don't normally perhaps get as thorough a clean as they should. In the spirit of this, I thought I would share an article from the New Household Discoveries, an encyclopedia of recipes and processes, published in 1917, which outlines how to plan your spring cleaning. We aren't going to be discussing the room-by-room process of cleaning, but rather how to prepare and how to work in a thorough but sensible manner. So, without any further ado, let's begin. In addition to the daily and weekly routine of housework, it is customary to give the house and its furnishings a thorough overhauling and renovating once or twice a year, usually in the spring and fall. But this custom varies in different parts of the country, and in cities it is quite different from what it is in rural neighborhoods. In cities, winter is a season where guests are received and most of the entertaining takes place. Hence, the fall house cleaning, as preparation for the duties and festivities of the winter season, is likely to be the more important. In rural neighborhoods, however, summer is the period of greatest activity, and the spring house cleaning is usually the more thorough and painstaking. Spring cleaning should ordinarily be postponed until the weather has become sufficiently settled, so that the winter underwear, draperies, carpets, etc. may be stored away if desired, and so that the health of the household need not suffer by reason of the open windows and the dampness attendant upon scrubbing floors and walls, whitewashing, painting, and the like. Most women, after constant confinement during the winter months, are more or less run down in the spring, and the change from the bracing temperature of winter to the enervating warmth of the first days of spring is likely to result in the lowering of tone that may expose them to serious mischief from overexertion. For these reasons, there is a gradual change of sentiment in favor of making the spring house cleaning a comparatively simple affair, putting off the heavy work until the fall. But the spring house cleaning must be sufficiently thorough to renovate and protect all woolens, furs, and feathers from the ravages of moths, to remove heavy hangings and draperies, and everything that impedes the free circulation of air during the heated term. The work of house cleaning will be very much simplified by thinking out in advance a systematic plan of campaign. In a blank book, make an inventory of the principal contents of each room. Measure the floors and the width and the length of window shades needed. Ascertain the number of yards of carpet or matting, the number of rolls of wallpaper and the yards of border required for every room in the house, the amount of paint or stain needed for the various floors, also the size of the dining room tablecloths, the length and width of sheets, and the size of pillow slips for different pillows. Divide the book into sections. Assign a number of pages to each room in the house. Take accurate measurements, note them down, and preserve the book for future use. Consult it to determine what changes shall be made in the rooms, what articles shall be stored away, and what, if any, need to be repaired. Provide in advance the requisite amount of materials of all sorts and have them at hand when the work begins. William Morris says, "Have nothing in your house that you do not know to be useful or believe to be beautiful." Hence, before house cleaning, go through the house and critically examine each object. Some of them may have passed their usefulness, or your taste may have changed, and you may no longer regard them as beautiful. Then remove them without question. The art of successful living consists in getting along with as few articles of furniture as possible, rather than accumulating many different pieces. Remember that every additional object is an additional care. If you decide to retain an article, consider if it is in order or not, if it can be put in order, and in that case, whether it can be done at home. Gather up such pieces as you decide to repair and take them to the family workshop. Consider the discarded articles to see if they can be given away, sold, or used for fuel, and if not, throw them together to make a bonfire to celebrate when the house cleaning is finished. It is a good rule in house cleaning first to clean the cellar, because it is the most difficult and often the most neglected part of the house. Afterwards, begin with the attic and work down. Another good rule is to clean thoroughly one room at a time, settling it as you go. Experienced housewives, arrange your house cleaning by preparing food in advance, boiling ham, baking beans, pies, bread, and cake, so as to be spared, as far as possible, the labor of cooking while house cleaning is going on. While house cleaning, dress appropriately for the work. Some housekeepers wear a divided skirt or bloomers made from 4 widths of heavy dark skirting. These are gathered into bands and buttoned about the ankles and waist. They are a valuable protector for skirts and facilitate climbing stepladders, scrubbing floors, etc. Pull the sleeves up as far as you want them to go and put elastic bands on the arms over the sleeves. Trim the fingernails as short as can be borne with comfort. This prevents them from being broken or torn when obliged to work without gloves. Wear a dust cap, a big apron, and loose gloves. Half of the disagreeableness of house cleaning is taken away by having a lotion to apply to parboiled and uncomfortable hands. Soak 2 or 3 ounces of quince seeds overnight, strain through a cheesecloth, and add 2 quarts of water and 2 ounces each of glycerin, boracic acid, and witch hazel. This is one of the best lotions. Or maybe not. I personally couldn't recommend any hand cream that has boracic acid in it. I'd probably just go with one of my homemade cold creams instead. Well, after reading that article, I sure feel inspired to start my spring cleaning. I love the idea of using the annual spring clean as not just a good scrub down, but also as a time to take stock of your possessions, remind yourself what you have, and to take care of those things. It's also such a good time to do any redecorating tasks. I plan on painting my sewing room sometime soon, and I'm looking forward to having a really good clean in all those hard-to-reach corners. Deep cleaning and redecorating just seem to go so well together. I'd love to know if you still practice the spring clean, or if you take the little bit at a time approach. I personally do a bit of each. Well, as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! This video is made possible through the generous support of my Patreon members. Thank you.